Well, good morning, everyone. And isn't it a good morning? We are incredibly excited to kick off something that culminates a significant amount of work and leadership of the mayor. We are incredibly excited to announce that Uber is bringing a robust Greenlight Hub, one of the flagships in the country, right here to my home ward, Ward 7. There's some people I just want to quickly thank before I introduce our first speaker. Obviously, I want to thank Uber for their significant leadership, Cedar Realty for working so hard with us, and May Best, who is the executive director of the East River Family Strengthening Collaborative. Please give them a huge round of applause. This was a huge partnership that allowed us to bring a fantastic partner to our community who is going to help us do just what we said we would do, which is create economic development opportunities for the people who live right here in this community. This facility will have 25 full-time employees. Clap that up. Those are real jobs. And it'll be about 8,200 square feet. And I'm going to turn it over to someone who's pretty amazing and welcome her up to the stage. Arathi Maruthra is the general manager overseeing operations in the Southeast region. She and her teams focus on bringing riders and drivers more affordable. Some of us have used that affordable, reliable transportation through the Uber platform. She began her career at Uber by launching and running new markets. And since then, she has grown and managed Uber in cities across the Southeast from DC all the way down to Florida. Prior to Uber, she held leadership positions in media, corporate development, and finance. She holds her MBA from the Wharton School and her bachelor's degree from right here in D.C., Georgetown University. And they live with their 16-month-old son in Washington, D.C., the single best city in the whole wide world. We love welcoming strong women to the stage. You come on up here and tell us all about it.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Snowden, for your gracious welcome. Cedar Realty Trust for their efforts here at the East River Park Shopping Center. Mayor Bowser for her tireless efforts on behalf of the district we call home. And of course, all the Uber drivers in the region who are providing a valuable service to their neighbors and visitors to this great city every single day. Absolutely. Thank you. My name is Arathi Mehrotra, and I'm the Regional General Manager for Uber in the Mid-Atlantic and the Southeast U.S. But more importantly, I, my husband, my 16-month-old son are proud to call D.C. home. That's absolutely. That's why this announcement is particularly important to me. Uber may be a large global company, but at our core, our focus has always been at the local level. Here in the district, we've been operating for over 5 years now, giving people the opportunity to earn an extra income, providing others with affordable, reliable transportation, especially in places where those options can sometimes be limited. While we're proud of the work we're all doing together for the district, as a company, we are absolutely committed to doing more. This is more than just a place where we do business. This is a home to all of us. That's why we are so excited to announce a new chapter in our story with a new investment in this community and a recommitment to working harder than ever to bring the drivers who partner with us the tools and the support that they need.
All right, yes.
Absolutely. This new state-of-the-art 8,200 square foot facility will be the flagship Uber driver support and resource center for the region. Good choice. Today, throughout the greater D.C. region, including the surrounding counties in Virginia and Maryland, there are more than 42,000 active Uber drivers, providing reliable transportation to nearly 2 million active Uber riders. And in D.C., more than a third of D.C.-based Uber drivers live east of the river. That's why we're so excited about this new location right here in Ward 7. It's a centrally located, it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility that'll provide easier access and better support to our valued partners. Every week, we plan to assist thousands of local drivers and those interested in partnering with Uber with in-person assistance and answers to any questions or issues they may have. Our goal is for this center to become a gathering place, really a venue for drivers to network and share stories and best practices and share advice with one another. This is part of our commitment to better invest in and support Uber drivers in the region. But that commitment also extends beyond Uber drivers to the community as a whole. We plan to invest millions of dollars into this facility and the supporting functions within the next year alone. We will be accepting bids for a general contractor exclusively from DC Small Business Enterprises. And when fully operational, we expect to have 25 full-time employees working here on behalf of Uber drivers. Exactly. We're thrilled to be investing in this community and better serving its residents. And we hope that other businesses will also follow. But today, we're here to say thank you. Thank you to the DC Uber drivers like my friend Yvonne and the thousands of others who we hope can take advantage of the resources this new facility will provide. Thank you to our Uber Eats partner and Ward 8 restaurant, our Adrenaline Cafe, for providing the food today. Thank you so much to Mayor Bowser for her support and attendance here today. And thank you to this community for welcoming us. We want to let you know how excited we are to get to work. Yes. And now I'd like to invite Yvonne Craig to come up and speak about her experience. Yvonne is a lifelong DC resident who raised her 2 children in Ward 7 where she lives. She's been driving with Uber for 2 years and 4 months now and is one of our top partners. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Kind of short. I have a slight cold, but I'm honored to be here to address you all. And it's just such a pleasure to be able to come here to speak to the Uber company and meet my mayor that I'm so proud of. I want to talk about myself a little bit. I started driving with Uber about 2.5 years ago. And my oldest nephew, Donald Jordan, he was the one that got me started. He came to me one day. I'm going to make this kind of brief because I know we got a lot to do in this city. But he came to me one day and said, "Auntie, why don't you drive?" I had the Pope's Fiat, the 4-door, identical. So I said, "I don't want to drive. I'm not a cab driver." He said, "Come on, Auntie, you can make some money and it's really nice." Well, let me tell you something. I thank you, Danny, for getting me started with Uber. It's been the greatest thing that could have happened to me since I've been a senior and retired from the federal government. But at any rate, I want to share with you guys a little bit more personal. I've been out here in this area since I was 7 years old. I came from Southwest across from Jefferson. It's called the Wharf. We used to call it East Potomac. I guess some of you guys know about that, right? At one time, East Potomac was my playground. I lived directly across the street from Jefferson High School. My older siblings attended school. I wasn't even in school, probably maybe the kindergarten, if that. But at any rate, I used to ride my bicycle down a trail on the side of Jefferson. But my husband and I, we both grew up in this area, and we wound up buying properties out here as well. I grew up in the projects from East Capitol Street. Okay, oh yeah, and I'm really proud of that because I also worked with the Office of Inspector General. I worked under Janet Reno, and I'm very proud of that. Okay, so I've always been a part of DC trying to do something that's going to help our community. Uber has been a great access to my life. I have 2 grown daughters. I have 5 or 6 grandchildren and 2 great-grands. And we all grew up here in Southeast. They were raised in this area. Southeast and Northeast, Ward 7 is where we particularly stayed. But I'm just so thankful to Uber. Uber has helped me in so many ways and has also helped me to reach out to other people. I never dreamed that meeting different folks from various cultures would affect my life so much, but I've met people from all walks of life, And sometimes they needed encouraging when they get in my Uber, and sometimes they encouraged me. But I found that Uber has helped me to not have to worry about my retirement income, being able to help other people, not just myself, but my family and neighbors and other folks. So I'm just honored to be able to stand here and talk to you guys today about Uber. Uber is a good job for you if you want to work and be independent. You know, I feel like I got my own company with Uber. You know what I mean? So, and I just love it. You know, I've been asked to come with Lyft. No, I don't want to do Lyft. I'm staying with Uber. I'm committed to Uber. And I believe that's why God allowed me to stand here and speak to you all today. All of my family lived here in D.C., most of them. And this area, I can walk through it with my eyes closed, like my sister over here that works in the mayor's office and other folks around here as well. But I just want to tell you that it's just a pleasure. Uber is so good. You know, if you're not feeling well, you don't have to come out. If you're feeling good, you can go make that money. You can make as much as you want or as little as you want. It depends on what you really want. But Uber is a phenomenal place to be. You'll be surprised how much help it is to all of us in so many different ways. I'm a little stuck here. I'm just thankful to even to be here. But at this time, without having much more to say, I wanted to speak about our mayor. Mayor Muriel Bowser. I never thought I'd get the opportunity to meet you. I've seen you on TV so many times, and as a senior, I'm so proud of you. Lord have mercy, I'm so proud of you. So this partnership between Uber and the city creates many economic opportunities for those of us who live in the Ward 7 area. And I am just proud, and I want to introduce to you guys the mayor of the District of Columbia, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you, Yvonne. You are phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear it for Yvonne. I started calling them sexy seniors because that's what it's like to be a senior in Washington, D.C. Give Yvonne another round of applause. I am so happy to be here in Ward 7. We were just here at DOES just the other day talking about our rejuvenated, I call it the First Stop Employment Center, which is the American Job Center located and co-located with our Department of Employment Services. We had a fantastic opportunity during, obviously, DC Week to also announce a fantastic investment in the Penn Hills redevelopment, also in Ward 7. And I am just thrilled to be here with all of you to talk about this investment. I really can't say more than Yvonne has already said about what it means to offer all kinds of job opportunities all over the District of Columbia, from people of every background, belief, age. Everybody wants to be a part of the prosperity that we are experiencing in Washington. So you just heard from a woman who was born and raised right here, who raised her family here, who put in her service to all of us in the U.S. government, is enjoying retirement, but also wants to take some control of her retirement and expand what she earns. What's wrong with that? And to run, and like you said, you are running your own business. It's your hours, it's your vehicle, and you determine how much you make and how often you work. And I'm just very proud of you and the decision that you made. And I'm happy that Uber is a partner with us in Washington, D.C. Let me, before I go any further, just acknowledge all of the Ward 7 community leaders who are here. Let me first start with your council member and former Mayor Vince Gray. Give Mayor Gray a big round of applause. We certainly share a commitment to making sure that Ward 7 gets the type of investment that it needs, and that every Ward 7 resident, every corridor in Ward 7 is getting the attention that we have paid all over the city to corridors. People in D.C. are just the same. We want the same things: safe neighborhoods, safe streets, great opportunities, and the types of amenities that allow us to live our best lives. And that is our commitment too. So the economic development priorities of this administration, they start with one simple phrase. It's an all 8 ward strategy. And so I appointed Deputy Mayor Snowden to be our deputy mayor for greater economic opportunity. And her sole job is to work with every agency in the government to make sure that underserved corridors, places where we haven't had the same type of public and private investment, are getting that investment, that our people who have not gotten the type of investment and resources and training that they need are getting those resources and training. And I'm really proud of the work that the DMGO, that we affectionately call her, is known. So let me say a word about tech, because at the bottom, the start and the finish of Uber's a tech company, right? And we have been talking all week about how the tech sector is growing in Washington, D.C. And that's why many people are calling us in the top 2 or 3 contenders to attract another big tech company you might have heard of, Amazon.com. And that's because we are in our city just really attracting folks who want to be innovators and creators, and we should all be proud of that too. So Deputy Mayor Snowden and Uber have been working on more and more Uber investment in Washington, D.C. Just 2 years ago, we announced that D.C. would be the home of Uber's East Coast headquarters. And now we are proud to be here where Uber is investing in the East River Park, and it's the new home of the Uber Greenlight Driver Support Hub. So the deputy mayor told me about a statistic I didn't know, is that 1/3 of the drivers for Uber live in the east part of our city. So it only makes sense that they're going to be serviced. They can come here and answer their questions. They can have a state-of-the-art facility, a landing pad right here in Ward 7. So would-be drivers can also learn how they can get involved, like Yvonne, and join the Uber team and start their own little small businesses. And it is also a place for networking for among drivers and Uber Eats couriers. So we know that that is going to be a good thing. Uber being here also represents, as you've already heard, millions of dollars of work happening right here. And so the commitment by Uber to only work with a CBE company to build out this 8,200 square feet is a fantastic thing. So we want to thank you for that. Let me thank all of the ANC commissioners who are here. If you could raise your hands. I see Anthony Lorenzo Green and Dorothy Douglas and Ashley Emerson. Thank you for being here. I want to thank the East River Family Strengthening Collaborative, who does so much to make DC residents strong. I see Jimmy Williams here from Prim Branch. Thank you for being here. And Derek Ford, who runs at the Economic Development Partnership, a focused effort that we encouraged in the start just for Ward 7, and we appreciate that. I want to thank my cabinet members who are here. If you haven't met Odie Donald, the director of DOES, please say, I'm sorry. Please say hi to Odie. Odie, wave your hand. Tyrell Holcomb. Thank you for being here, Tyrell. And I also want to acknowledge I see Rock Branch, who is here, who is representing our Office of African American Affairs, and Tony Duggar, who is representing our Commission for Fatherhood, Men and Boys, also at the Deputy Mayor's Office. I see Ernest here from our Department for For-Hire. They're all hiding. I can't find everybody. For our Department of For-Hire Vehicles. And I hope you recognize that our cabinet's representation here is also representative of our focus on economic development in Ward 7. So let me congratulate Uber once again. Let me congratulate all the community leaders here in Ward 7. And I also want to acknowledge and thank Robin Ziegler from Cedar Realty Trust for your investment. And you're coming up. Please join me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Bowser and Deputy Mayor Snowden, the District of Columbia, and Uber. Cedar Realty Trust has worked side by side with the district to bring the Uber Greenlight Hub to the East River Park area, and we are pleased to celebrate their arrival with all of you today. The opening of the Greenlight Hub is an early reflection of the many long-term investments Cedar plans to make in the East River Park community. Together with Uber and the Mayor's office, we intend to work alongside all of the local stakeholders, including the community leaders and residents, to ensure the long-term benefits of this exciting partnership. At Cedar, our values are rooted in sustaining and growing the neighborhoods we serve. And it is our commitment to uphold these values here in Ward 7. That is why we look forward to Uber being a catalyst for growth and job creation. We would like to thank the district government, our partners at Uber, and the wonderful people of the East River community that are come out today to help celebrate this wonderful accomplishment. I will now turn the podium back over to the mayor and the deputy mayor for questions. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with press questions, and then we'll be available for community questions. Any press questions? Yes. Yes.
What was your involvement in bringing this here, and how long has this been in the works?
Sure. And so I mentioned already that we were in talks with Uber 2 years ago to establish Washington, D.C. as their East Coast headquarters. And we have been in talks with Uber on a variety of issues during my entire term. But let me turn to the deputy mayor to talk about this location specifically.
The mayor's absolutely right. We cut the ribbon 2 years ago at the regional office and began talks about helping them to identify additional space. And so we've been working in close partnership. On my team, Forrest Hayes and a bunch of folks from Uber came together. Nick and his team came together to make this happen.
In Chicago, there's some concern that ride-hailing has cut into transit ridership to the extent that the mayor wants to levy a new fee on ride-hailing trips to support the CTA. Are there similar concerns, given Metro's ridership declines, that ride-hailing is cutting into transit ridership? And does DC have a sense of maybe the extent to which ride-hailing might be cutting into transit ridership?
Well, I think that there are a lot of things that are cutting into Metro ridership. I would put first among them the year-long Safe Track program and also the cutting back of hours at Metro. So I wouldn't start with Uber. I would start with Metro itself. But to step back, I think I understand the larger part of your question is how do we balance all of the different choices that people have to get around. So it's never been our approach to limit choice. It has been our approach to make sure that every mode is a high quality mode, and then the people of DC will make the choices themselves. We do think there should be a level playing field, and that's why we've been very careful in how we've established regulations for rideshare companies. And I'm glad to see Director Chopra here. We're also very concerned about making sure the regulations are fair for our taxi companies. And we will continue to make the investments in Metro that are needed, not only that they may catch up on their maintenance, but that they have hours that are competitive with all the other choices that are available. Any other press questions? Okay, we have a time for a handful of community questions. Yes, ma'am.
How did Uber get started?
How did Uber get started? Well, let me let our representative from Uber come up and talk about that. Arathi, it's a fast story, I can tell you that, because they haven't been around that long to have achieved the type of market, I would say domination, but that probably sounds negative, the market share that they have.
Sure, yeah. It all started a few years ago when, I think our founders and folks said we need an easier way for folks to get around, especially in places where transportation alternatives, are limited and aren't always accessible. And, I think the idea was, hey, what if there was a world in which you pressed a button and a car came directly to you, picked you up, and took you where you wanted to go? And what if there was a world in which you could have a flexible earnings opportunity where, you could turn on your app, drive folks around and earn income on a weekly, monthly basis. And I think that's really how it all started. We've worked hard to get here, but we've had some incredible partners, really incredible driver partners who have been there every step along the way and very, very supportive riders. So we're excited about how far we come, and we couldn't be more excited about DC and this hub. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. And let me add one more senior perspective. We heard Yvonne talk about her experience as a driver, and I would just like to offer my experience as the daughter of 2 seniors who take advantage of ride sharing. It is allowing them to go to all parts of the city without having to worry about parking and feel safe and know where they're going, and to be able to age in place comfortably in their home. So there's a benefit to having many choices for DC residents. 2 more questions we have time for. Yes, Dorothy.
Yes, I just want to know, I know here's the young adults that are coming out of college and school. Will you all give them an opportunity to be a part of this as well in community service?
Okay, so there was a question about how this could benefit young adults, perhaps young people graduating from college or young people generally. So I'm going to turn to Uber and ask them to just talk about how old one has to be and some other requirements.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely encourage folks that are getting out of college looking for a flexible earnings opportunity to really show us that their interest in Uber and really become a part of the platform and go through that process. I think we're excited about the employment opportunities here as well. We talked about 25 full-time opportunities and really open to having a diverse set of folks. Really, really important for us to be hiring and recruiting directly from this community. That is incredibly important to us, and we've done that in every single one of our Greenlight Hub locations as well. Thank you. 18, yeah. Thank you, yep.
Okay, last question here. Yes?
How would it help? I have my people. We're getting them into the community. How would Uber be able to benefit them?
Okay, so what do you mean them?
Like, how would you be able to? Is there any job opportunities or anything that they would be able to come in and work, or because they're also part of the East of the River community?
Absolutely. So the question is, how can we work with DC residents of all abilities?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So what the deputy mayor suggested to me that is, as we get ready for the build out and working with Uber, I'm going to ask our Department of Employment Services to make sure that all the people that have identified themselves in their one stop as wanting to work and wanting especially to work close to home, that we're going to make that available during that hiring time. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody.